Country Cooking. I'm your hostess, Cindy Schumacher. On today's show, we will be making cocktail meatballs, spinach cabrini, wedge salad, and cranberry Christmas cake, along with some crescent rolls. So we're going to start out with the meatballs because they need to bake the longest. So we start out with 2 pounds of ground beef. We add 3 whole eggs, a cup of breadcrumbs, and a packet of onion soup mix. Let's mix this together. If you have a meatball recipe that you like, absolutely use your own recipe. This is just one that comes with this particular recipe. So it's really the sauce that makes the whole dish. Mix it up good. Okay, for the meatballs, we'll make the sauce. This is a can of whole cranberry sauce, and this is brown sugar, not packed. 1 cup, and a can of drained sauerkraut. Those together. Okay, now we're going to add a bottle of chili sauce. And once you dump the bottle of chili sauce in there, then you fill it with water and add that to it. Okay, now we're going to mix that all together. This is a nice dish for a casual supper. I decided, since this show is right before Christmas, I know everyone has their traditional Christmas dinners and things that you make and that your family loves, but this would be something for another night or a New Year's Eve party or something, because it's easy to just put the dish out and let people help themselves to whatever they want. So we'll quick make our meatballs and put it in our pan. And we'll take a break while I finish that up.
Pick your promo, sign up for high-speed internet, and get an iPad mini for only $60, plus get $60 in Valley Bucks. Or sign up for HD DVR from Valley Video and get $60 in Valley Bucks. Take advantage of these great promotions in honor of Valley being around for the last 60 years. Call 437-2615 today.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, we've got the meatballs all made. They're ready to go. And we're going to pour the sauce over. Just spread it over. And we're going to put those in the oven, and those will bake about an hour and a half. at 325. And now we're going to make the spinach cabrini. This is a meal, this is a dish that is nice because it has both of your, instead of a potato or pasta separately and a separate vegetable, it's all into one. So I have 9 ounces of linguine that I have cooked and al dente, and we've got 2 10-ounce packages of frozen spinach that I have cooked also. And we're going to incorporate that into there. Even little kids will eat this. They won't really realize that it's spinach and that it has something good for them in it. They'll like the whole dish. And then this is another one of those dishes that you can add chicken to if you ever want to do a one-pot meal, or a dish that you take to someone's house that's sick or something. This is always a nice dish for that reason. Okay, I have 2 cups of sour cream. I'm going to mix some of these together and then we'll incorporate the whole thing. This is onions, mushrooms, and then we have 4 cups of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. I'm going to spray our pan. And then we'll just mix it all together in there. And then to this we're going to add a 1/2 cup of melted butter. Okay, we have our 1/2 cup butter melted. And we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Salt, and a dash of oregano. That's kind of a big dash, but it's a big dish. Put that up a little bit. Okay, now we're going to pour it over the top and mix it all together. This is another one of those dishes that you can make ahead of time. You can make it even the day before or the morning that you're having the dinner, and then put it in the oven when you're ready for it to bake. This also gives you a little color in your dish with the green. Okay, we got it there. Smooth it out. Okay. We're going to put this in the oven in about a half an hour so that it's ready at the same time that the meatballs are. So we're just going to set that aside, and we're going to start working on the crescent rolls. I have a packet of yeast. I buy my yeast in bulk, so if you buy your yeast in bulk like I do, it's 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast and 1.5 cup of warm water. Pour that in. We're going to dissolve the yeast. There we go. Now we'll start adding our other ingredients. We've got 2/3 cup of shortening, and 2/3 cup of sugar, get our eggs. We put mashed potatoes, unseasoned mashed potatoes with this. They ask them to be lukewarm, so I'm just going to stick them in the microwave. It's 1 cup. We'll just heat them up just a little bit. Okay. 2 eggs, and then 1.5 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm going to start incorporating just a little bit of the flour because there is a lot of liquid in there, so it doesn't splash around on me when I'm starting to get it mixed. To gradually keep adding flour to it. It calls for 6 to 7 cups of all-purpose flour, and I find that once I start working the flour in at the end, it does take pretty much all of 7 cups. And this is a refrigerator roll dough, so you would put it in the refrigerator for a minimum of 6 to 8 hours or overnight, and it keeps up to 5 days. And you can do almost anything with it. You can even use it for a Cookin dough or any kind of, if you want to make a Parker House roll. I make crescent rolls with it, and they are a favorite of my family's. As a matter of fact, with leftover turkey, they even make sandwiches and using these rolls if there's anything left. And you can make them into 2 different sizes. You can make them into 16, or you can do 12. I like them a little bit bigger, but if you are doing a ladies' luncheon or something where you want it to be, want them to be a little smaller, you can do that too. Okay, well, remember all these recipes can be found on the Valley website. If you don't have internet, call the office and the girls will be happy to get you a copy of whatever you're interested in. And we're going to take a little break while I incorporate the flour, and we'll be right back.
Introducing our device installment program. Extra savings and extra flexibility. Call Valley today for all the details at 437-2615.
The dough all incorporated, and I've been kneading it. So once you have it nice and so it's not sticky anymore, you take your bowl again. I spray it with Pam, or you can use butter or oil, and then you throw the dough in like this, and then you flip it over so that it has grease all the way around it, and then you cover it and you put it in the refrigerator for anywhere from 6 hours to overnight, up to 5 days you want to use it. So I'm going to put a lid on it, and then put it in the refrigerator. And with the magic of television, I made some last night so that I had some ready. We'll roll it out. I need just a little bit of flour. And you want to roll it out into a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but do the best you can. And then we take our butter and baste it. And then we're going to cut it, and like I said, you can cut it into 16 rolls if you want them small. I like them just a little bit bigger, so I'm going to cut it into 12. So I do it into fourths, and then I cut each one of those into 3. Okay, and then you start with the larger end, roll it up, and you put it in the pan, and make sure you've got the tip underneath. You give them just a little bit of a crescent shape. This. And then once you get them all in the pan, you want to baste them with butter again. Actually, these have enough butter on them. You don't really need to even serve butter with them, but some people do, and that's perfectly up to you, whatever your preference is. Go. And you just take the butter and you just give them a little baste on the top, and then we cover it with saran wrap and a towel and let it rise until they're double, about an hour. Okay, we'll just set those aside. And we're going to take a break. Remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website. If you don't have internet, give the girls a call in the office and they'll get you the recipe. We'll be right back.
Valley Telecommunications is pleased to announce that our Technology Solutions Center is fully stocked and open for business. We have a large selection to meet your wants and needs. Some of the items we currently carry are a variety of corded and cordless phones, different brands of tablets such as Kindle Fires and Apple iPads and all the accessories for them, Telekin computers, Epson and HP printers and ink cartridges, Apple iPods and accessories, office supplies, wireless keyboards and mice, cellular phones and accessories, different types of media storage, cameras, headphones, power strips and surge protectors, and much, much more. You can also get your very own Valley swag. Our prices are reasonable and comparable to any other retail store. If there is something that you want or need that we do not currently carry, please let us know so that we can check into it for you. We accept all major credit cards, cash or check. Please feel free to stop by our office and check out our new and improved store for all of your technology and day-to-day business needs.
Okay, our meatballs have been in the oven for about 45 minutes, so we're going to put the spinach cabrini in. That way they'll both be done at the exact same time. And we're going to start working on the cranberry Christmas cake. We'll start out with the sugar. Got 1 cup. And 2 cups of flour. I'm just going to kind of sift that together. We have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 3 teaspoons of baking powder. To that we're going to add 1 cup of milk. And 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Spatula and clean that out real good. It's a very simple cake. Just quick stir everything together and pour it in the pan and bake it. So not a lot of fuss and not a lot of muss, and you don't have to frost it because we have the butter sauce. So. I have 2 cups of whole cranberries that I've washed. I have this really cool berry strainer that you can measure and strain all in one. Works out real good. You fold in your cranberries and you put it in your greased 8x8 pan. Going to check and see how long this bakes. This is 45 minutes, which is about the same time that the cabrini takes, so we'll put it all in the oven. This is something that you can bake ahead of time also, and then warm it up when you're ready to serve. So we'll take a break right now and we'll get ready to make our wedge salad.
Valley Telecommunications, the home team advantage.
Okay, we're ready to work on our wedge salad. This is a very simple thing that you can do. You can dish the plates up ahead of time if you like, or you can wedge your lettuce and then let your guests come through and help themselves and put what they want on it. But instead of doing a wedge salad that gets, like a full quarter or something of a, if you do something like this, slice it into kind of like this, you put it on the plate like this, and you want to wash it ahead of time. You want your iceberg lettuce to be nice and crisp, so you would put it like that. This is one of the recipes that I promised you at the beginning of the year this fall. This is a recipe from my parents' restaurant, Helen's California Kitchen. It's their own homemade blue cheese recipe. You use a 30-ounce jar of a good mayonnaise. I use Hellmann's, and you take white pepper, and that can vary anywhere from a teaspoon and a half and a little less. We like it a little pepperier. And then also garlic powder. That again, you can kind of adjust to taste, about a teaspoon. And then 8 ounces of crumbled blue cheese. So I made this ahead of time and let it chill. It doesn't all fit back in the jar, obviously, when you put all that cheese in there. But so what you would do for your guests then would be and actually you add a quarter of a cup of milk to desired consistency. We like it thick, so I would do something like this. Then you would sprinkle red onions on it. You don't have to do quite that many if you don't like, but do some tomatoes like that. A little more crumbled blue cheese. And then we'll sprinkle some bacon on there. And this is a very beautiful salad. It's a simple salad. And like I said, you can make it up in advance and serve them their salad already dished like this, or you can let them take what they want if you're doing a buffet style. So we've got the cake is in the oven, the spinach cabrini is in the oven, and the meatballs. So we're going to work on our butter sauce for the cake. I have a half cup of butter in the pan here. So we're going to let that melt, and then to that we're going to add our whipping cream and our sugar and our vanilla. You can also substitute rum, and I use a clear vanilla instead of a colored vanilla so that it doesn't darken the sauce. It just looks a little more butterier, and that's kind of what you want to do. So remember, all these recipes can be found on the Valley website. If you don't have internet, just give the girls a call. They'll give you the recipe. So we'll take a little break here, and when the butter is done, we'll stir together our butter sauce. Ready. Okay, I've got my butter melted. We're going to add the sugar. It's 1 cup. Get that incorporated. And then our 3/4 cup of cream. We're going to let this thicken a little bit. Starting to smell good in here. This is the type of meal that is fun to do, because you can literally just lay it all out on a counter and let everybody just help themselves. And you can make a hot pot of coffee and have that on the end, and everyone can sit around and visit. So we'll just take a little break. Everything's about ready to come out of the oven, so we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, everything's just about ready. We're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla to our butter sauce for the cake. Okay, it's nice and thick, so we'll turn that off. And we're going to pull the meatballs and the spinach cabrini out. good idea to let them set just a few minutes, and so that they quit simmering. You don't want anyone to get burned. The cake is about 5 minutes away, and we're just about ready to eat, so we'll be right back. Okay, cake's ready. Oh. So we'll dish up our meatballs. Spinach cabrini. There we've got our pasta and our vegetable all rolled into one. That. Put on some of our butter sauce. And there we go, a beautiful casual Christmas meal with all kinds of color. We'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us today on this edition of Country Cooking, and we'll see you next time.